Hello, everybody. So let's have a look at the cryptocurrencies. So we'll look at Bitcoin and Ether. And then if we've got some time on that, just have a look at Litecoin as well. So from Bitcoin quickly, there is one thing concerning me at the moment. And this is the weekly chart that I'm looking at, okay? And it's this bar here. So we have a long tail at the top, which is typical of a rejection. And it's a rejection off the weekly Dickinson, okay? That's blue line. Now, it may just be ignored and we'll continue up to hit the next level, which will be as follows. So we'll look for to touch that level again where we already almost touched. We'll look for that, and then we'll look for that level there. I think that's kind of for the next week or what we're looking for. So 11,300 up until 11,600 area. So this is kind of where we could be going to, or alternatively what could happen is this could fail. Now this is the first day of the week from a cryptocurrency trading perspective. So if this green bar continues up, then everything's fine. If we break below there, so below the low of last week, then you're going to expect some downside. What I would expect to happen, what I would expect to happen here is this trend breakout. I would expect that to be retested. Okay, so I'm kind of wary of getting in longs of where we are now. If we go to the daily, so firstly, the measured move here has played out. So let me show you the measured move. So it's from there to there, okay? And then what happened was price kind of went sideways to downwards in a little flag, right? And basically a measured move means the distance that it traveled up, it will do that in a second move. So it's up and then it pushed up. Now, you can't take the exact height of this as your measured move because there's different, I mean, it could have been calculated from there, or this low, or this low, or this low here. So it really depends where the bulk of the traders are taking their measurements from. So what you should rather do is look to the left to see what is in this area that would indicate that there would be some selling, okay? And you can see, I'll put some lines in there. That orange line is obviously the first one. That is the second one. And then you have the top of this red bar. So you've got all these tails here of where price is going to. So it's normally three. Every time you look at it, there are three different levels, and 6 times out of 10, it's the middle one that gets taken, and occasionally it'll push you to the top one. But you can see that there's a lot of support and resistance at this area, so something is going to happen here. So now in saying that, I just want to clean up the chart. So what we could be doing now is we could be doing this. So we could be going up, and now we are busy forming another channel of sorts. Okay, so we go up, form this little range, and then break above here and extend even further. Okay, so that could be happening, or alternatively we could just be consolidating for a move back down. So let's just have a look at one other thing here on the daily, and that is the Fibonacci. So from this high down to this low. Okay, so there's the low, there's the high. So Fibonacci says it will come back to the 50, the 61.8, or the 76.4, and we hit the 61.8. Okay, and that's why there was some selling there. A lot of traders sitting there waiting to push this thing short again. So if we break above here, then your 76.4 comes into play, and then this flat cloud at the top and all these tails is the area, 11,600, somewhere around there, 11.6 to 11.7. So that's kind of the area that we may be targeting. but I'm kind of reluctant to go in here unless we create a new high. Take out this high here, then we can look at it. Okay. The other thing that's worrying me is that this daily Kijun red line here is flat. So I would look for a pullback to somewhere by the 200 moving average, this dotted line, purple dotted line, or the 8,000 area where we find support on the Kijun. So if we can pull back to that level, I'd definitely be looking for more longs. And the other thing, the last thing on this one is let's just do it for the proper line. So over here I have a left shoulder, I have a head, and now I could be forming a right shoulder. Okay, so that would be an inverse head and shoulders, which would then push us higher should we break above here. So this is the line in sand for you. We need to break above 9740. I would actually say 10,000. So you break above 10,000 and you hold above 10,000, then we'd move up. And that's because price action loves round numbers. That's kind of where we are. I just want to have a look at the 4 hour quickly just to see. Okay, so we don't have a bullish crossover on Tekinson and Kijun. So when the blue line crosses above the red line here, but it looks like it's starting to brew. So yeah, maybe there is more upside to come. But as I say, I want a bit more confirmation before I'd go long on that. Let's have a look at Ether quickly. And let's delete our objects. So let's have a look at the daily. So this is a little bit more positive for me. So we have had a crossover. We'll be moving up with Tekinson and Kijun. We have flattened out a bit, but yeah, it's looking pretty interesting for me anyway. So the same story holds true though. If we break above here, we can expect continuation. If we break below, we can expect downside to come. And the downside, I can't see it being that far, but more than likely in that area there. Okay, around let's say between 600 and 550, somewhere in this area here. On the 4 hour though, there is a very interesting setup, and I'll show you now. Is we've had a bullish crossover of Tekinson and Kijun there. So that's bullish. Ticker span is above price, that's bullish. Our cloud is green, that's bullish. So all the indication here is that this is a continuation move. Now the Fibonacci here is as follows. We're at the 76.4 now. So if we break above here, then it's this area, and if we break above that area, then we can expect some more upside to come. Okay, so yeah, so break above there, I'll start looking at something, but more importantly, I'd like to see even a pullback back to this tail over here, this bottom here would be worthwhile getting in. Okay, let's just quickly look at Litecoin and have a look here. Now, I know Litecoin doesn't have much data on my platform anyway. Yeah, so the daily is looking like this. So there are a few worrying signs here, and this is my first worrying sign for Litecoin. Is we have a flat bottom triangle, and we've also just taken out the daily Tekinson. So we're bouncing off the bottom of the cloud, which is not very bullish. Actually expected to find resistance here, and we're now forming this pattern. So a break below here is going to send us down. Okay, and where to? I would say that would be my, well, not there, this tail over here, and you can see where that interacted with it. This is the area, and also your daily Kijun. So that would be the area that I'd see to find support, but you'd expect price to bounce off the cloud like this and move to the downside. Let's just look at the 4 hour quick. Okay, so the 4 hour has had a bearish crossover. We've had a bearish twist, and we did break through price, and we're now sitting in price with Span. So at this stage, it's not looking very promising for Litecoin. I would expect some more downside to come unless this trend breaks. Now, the interesting thing here, though, is what could set up is this. So what could set up is we have one move down, one move up, and we have a second move down to this area. That's where I've said I'd be looking for an entry, and we find support ground here, then push through, and we break this. This would be a flag setup. At this stage, it's still brewing. It's not really a solid pattern at the moment. You'd want 4 to 5 touches on either side here for it to be valid. And at this stage, we've got 1, 2, 3. So you'd want 4, 5, pull back, and up. Okay, so that's kind of what I see on Litecoin. No, I wouldn't be going long on Litecoin, that's for sure. Rather just wait this one out and see what happens. If we do break to the upside, then you can expect some more resistance pretty much around there. So it'll be all these tails. Sorry about that. So it'll be all these tails on the side here and the top of the cloud. But then again, the same pattern that is forming here. So if you look, let's just use a triangle and you see here. So there is a shoulder. So that's my left shoulder. There is my head. So are we forming a right shoulder for a inverse head and shoulders? So yeah, a break above the cloud essentially will give us the confirmation for that pattern to play out. So yeah, so I think it's more of a wait and see for me at the moment, because if this little flat triangle here breaks to the downside, I'd expect here and then probably around here. And the reason I say that is because the target of this triangle, a break to the downside, will be the height of the triangle. So if I just take a guesstimate of the height being that, and we project it down, that takes us to here. Okay, so yeah, so I think I'll be looking for a break of this area here, or alternatively a pullback into here, and we find some bullish action and then get in on this over here. Anyway, that's the cryptos. Hope it helps, and I'll catch you later.